Hey guys, this is Ashwin Sundar from Technology Jog, back with another not an unboxing video. So basically this is a new series that I've started on the channel where I, instead of just unboxing and reading out the spec sheet, I use the phone for a day or two and share my initial impressions with you, kind of like a real life experience. Say you just order a phone and you get it. You know, during those first 24 to 48 hours, you tend to come across certain things that really surprise you. Some things that you may not have expected. And of course, you will also come across certain things that kind of disappoint you. So, those first 24 to 48 hour experience, that's the kind of experience I'm trying to bring you through this series. So we have the Galaxy M51 for this video. This is the most expensive M series phone ever launched by Samsung. 25,000 rupees, that's the cost of the phone. So let's actually jump to the real life experience. Before we begin, a huge shout out to our sponsor, PokerBaazi. If you got reminded of boxer Vijayender Singh and you're wondering why, it's because he's the brand ambassador. Playing poker on PokerBaazi is very simple. You can start cash games or tournaments at buy-ins of 20 rupees and win loads of money. You can play poker all day long without losing money through free entry tournaments, and you can win a total pool prize amount of 15 lakh rupees. That way you can learn poker and start earning too. The real bonus earned through free entry tournaments can be used to play in cash tables and tournaments. The winning amount can be directed to your bank account. It's 100% safe and gives fast withdrawal and 24/7 customer care support. So go ahead, download PokerBaazi and start your game. Link in the description. Use the promo code WELCOME100 to get 100% extra bonus on your first deposit. So let's start with the design and the build quality. 25,000 rupees, plastic back, which is fine. But the thing is, this is extremely prone to smudges, prone to fingerprints, and it is unavoidable. Things would be a lot better if Samsung provided a case in the box, but unfortunately, there was no case. This phone does not come with a pre-applied screen protector. This phone does not come with a pair of earphones. And I am also aware that Samsung doesn't provide earphones in their M series phones, but then this is not just any regular M series phone. This is a 25,000 rupee M series phone, and I feel the plastic back could have been better. The back panel is bad, as simple as that. It doesn't feel premium. It doesn't feel like a 25,000 rupee phone. Also, the bezels on the front are super thin. The top bezel and the bottom bezel are, kind of equally thin. And there is a small cutout on the top for a selfie camera. It's kind of a boxy design. Now, the best thing when it comes to the build and design is how thin this is. I mean, it's not very thin, but it's thin considering it has a 7,000 mAh battery. It's just 9.6 millimeters thin. To put things in perspective, the Realme 7 Pro, it has a 4,500 mAh battery and it is almost 9.4 millimeters thick. So the fact that Samsung has packed in a 7,000 mAh battery inside and still managed to keep the phone, relatively thin is just mind-blowing. Now, a major reason for this is because of the fact that Samsung has used a super thin panel. They've used the Super AMOLED Plus display, which is considerably thinner than your regular Super AMOLED display or even your LCD displays. So that's the major factor here. That's what makes this phone a lot thinner than a typical 6,000 or 7,000 mAh battery phone. And not only is it thinner, but also better than the other Super AMOLED panels that I've seen, under 25,000 rupees. I can already notice the superior color reproduction and contrast compared to other phones like the Galaxy M31 and so on. Now, my favorite thing in this display section is how smooth it feels. Now, for your information, it's just 60 Hz. I was just using the ROG Phone 3 for a while and the OnePlus 8 Pro. Those are phones with 120, 144 Hz displays, and this one jumping to 60, I thought it would feel terrible. Probably due to how efficient Samsung's One UI is, it feels smooth. It really doesn't feel like 60 Hz. Probably feels like 80 to 90, which is okay, which is pretty good. End of the day, spec sheet doesn't matter. How you really feel, this is what matters. So everything about the display is fantastic except one thing. the auto brightness is kind of finicky and it keeps jumping between 20% brightness, 30, 40, all within a few seconds, Now, as we speak, I'm kind of noticing a change in the brightness, randomly. There is absolutely no difference in the ambient light. It's perfect. Now, not just outdoors, even indoors, I noticed the very same thing. Now, this looks like a pretty serious issue, so I think Samsung will probably fix this via an update. Now, it's a 1080p display, and thankfully there is support for Widevine L1 certification, so you can play full HD videos on streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hotstar, etc. Now, I haven't really watched anything for a long time, but from my experience so far, I can say that the single bottom firing speaker is okay. It gets reasonably loud. And we've got a fingerprint scanner on the right embedded in the power button. Now, it's going to be hard to believe this, but this is the fastest fingerprint scanner on a Samsung phone, including flagships like the Galaxy S10. So yes, that's kind of a big surprise. Can finally compete with their Chinese competition with regards to the fingerprint scanner. But there is one problem I've noticed so far. It's super fast, but it's highly inaccurate. Maybe it will get better with time, or maybe Samsung will fix this in an update. But just letting you know my experience so far. This is just initial impressions. Do keep that in mind. My full review will come out probably next month. Let me know if I should review this phone, because I have a lot of other phones to review, so maybe I might not find time. But if you guys want to see, please let me know in the comment section. I'll try to prioritize this over other phones. So yes, inaccurate but super fast. Speaking of speed, we've got the Snapdragon 730G chip on the M51. Now, this is the only Samsung phone under 25,000 rupees which can handle high-end games like Call of Duty and PUBG. Now, of course, I am aware of the fact that there are some Chinese phones with better chipsets at this price point. The K20 Pro, for example, has the 855 chip, and the OnePlus Nord has 765G. So this kind of pales in comparison, but remember, this is a non-Chinese phone, and apparently a lot of you prefer that to better chipsets. And Samsung is clearly just taking advantage of that. Now, next up, cameras, which seem impressive on paper. We've got a 64 megapixel main camera, a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera, which is an upgrade from the 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera on other M series phones like the M31, M30s and so on. And we've got a 5 megapixel depth sensor, which is... And then there is a useful 5 megapixel camera, which is the macro camera. Let's go around, get some shots, I'll show them, and you can share your thoughts, I can share mine. So here we have the samples. I managed to capture a bunch of photos and a couple of videos as well. So let's start with it. Okay, let's skip. This was shot at 4x or 5x zoom, I guess. Not too bad. This is a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle image. This is a lot sharper than those 8 megapixel ultra wide images coming out of Galaxy M31 and so on. Now, these images were shot using the single take feature on the camera app, and I personally don't feel it's great, because basically you're capturing a video and in between the phone tries to capture images, the images will turn out blurry, so I don't see any point. The resolution is also terrible. Next up, we have some 5 megapixel macro shots, and these are quite impressive. Definitely better than some 2 megapixel macro cameras I've used before on some other phones. You can notice the veins of these leaves. I'm quite happy with it so far. Here we have a high dynamic range scene shot during sunset. This particular image is beautiful, and the ultra-wide version is also equally beautiful. Surprisingly, it has captured almost as much details as the regular camera did. Okay, we are back to selfies now, this time quite decent. Okay, again a high dynamic range scene here. The camera is against the sun, and it does a decent job. The colors are kind of faded, kind of flat. And here are a few more sunset images. I think this was shot at around 4x zoom. Here are some low light shots. I shot these using the night mode. The colors, the contrast, everything is quite good. Even the ultra wide angle camera supports night mode, so that's a good thing, and it gets decent output. Here's one more. This was shot at 4K resolution at 30 frames per second, and as you can see, it looks like it has stabilization and it's pretty good. The colors are super natural, and the footage is also really sharp. You can shoot videos using the ultra wide angle camera as well, so here you go. The stabilization is even better here. So, pretty impressive overall. Of course, there is a lot more testing to do, but for now, initial impressions, this camera array is quite impressive. Moving on, we are going to talk about software. A lot of cheaper Samsung phones, like the other M series phones, some A series phones, they all try to push ads and bloatware while you try to set up the phone. In fact, I actually made a dedicated video on how to escape all those tactics by Samsung and come out with a clean, ad-free, bloatware-free UI. Here's the video, you can watch it if you're interested. And by tactics, I'll show you what I mean. So here on the screen, you can literally see only one button, one clickable button, and that is done, right? Of course, that's what I thought too. So basically here Samsung says, see exciting stories on lock screen, entertainment and offers, get latest apps. So there is no option to disable any of them until one day I accidentally clicked on one of these links and there I found all the options. That's where you can disable. But even as a tech savvy person, I was not able to find that out very easily. A common user, it's almost guaranteed they will be shoved with ads and offers and exciting stories on lock screen and so on. And despite disabling all sorts of things that I possibly could, I still found a lot of bloatware, like this Shingari, Moj, Candy Crush Saga, a couple of games and so on. And the funny thing here is the Galaxy Store, which is absolutely not required, cannot be disabled, but Play Store can be disabled. Now, how ridiculous is that? Now, if you look past this and if you probably watch that video and make sure all those things are disabled, One UI offers excellent experience. It's super optimized. Like I said earlier, it feels very, very smooth. The animations, the reasonably slow scrolling, all those contribute to you thinking that it has a 90 Hz display. So those are the first set of impressions. Those are the things that I personally came across in the past couple of days. Of course, there may be more good things, there may be more bad things about the phone, and for that I need to use the phone for 2 to 3 more weeks at least. So you guys let me know in the comment section if you really need the review. I'll try to get it done. So 25,000 rupees, that's for the 6GB RAM on 28GB storage variant. There is also a 8GB RAM on 28GB storage variant which costs 27,999, which is around 28,000 rupees. I'm glad Samsung has provided 128GB storage on the base variant itself, despite the fact that there is a dedicated micro SD card slot in here. So do let me know how you like this format. Do you want me to continue this series? Would you like to see more of these videos, instead of unboxings? Don't forget to let me know in the comment section. Your feedback is really, really important. So that's it. Thanks for watching. This is Ashwin Sundar from Technology Doc, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And before that, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. I guess it's been a while since I said that, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. So bye.